neglected friends over on Instagram. Hello, everybody. Tom Caltabiano, ELR 360 Live. I love the excitement of talking to everybody on Sunday. I'm going to make tea on camera. Here it is. The cinnamon tea, courtesy of Deb. Yeah. Oh, I can do this now. Okay, hold on. Hold on. How about that, folks? That is some cinnamon tea. Is it still like a Christmas variety? I don't know. I'm not sure. Are those snowflakes on there? I can look. I think those are snowflakes. So take it for what it's worth. Oh, I missed that it says Christmas. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other. Look at how fancy is this? That's on the fly. So let's make some tea while we're doing this. Here we go. In our mug. So as we know, the AIS, I was sitting here, but we were trying to figure out some couple of audio things. Whoa. Sorry, folks, hitting the mic. All right, Tom Caltabiano. Hello, everybody. Sunday. Everybody loves Raymond 360. Everything looks really, really good all around. All right. Talking everything. Everybody loves Raymond. Hi, Gil. In Vegas. Gil, you are in Vegas. I'm glad you were saying hello to me before you lose all of your money. So be careful, because I have heard that some people lose. Oh, you know what there is? There is, in my office, is a magnifying glass that's hanging off of a clamp to the right of the desk. That will help me a lot. Okay. Hello, Gil. Anybody, Gil, one of our trusted longtime friends, who has held the canister, which I guess the canister is a little blocked by my shoulder. I feel bad for canister lovers. Okay, and I'm going to move this. Then I'm going to move this a little bit out of the way. So we are in the new studio, folks. Talking to you from inside the new studio. And we have two cameras, so I can now show you. I can show you a close-up of, for example, I gotta work. Oh, I see. Wait a minute. Did I move my location? So there you go, folks. That is technology. I'm gonna switch back now. So is that a different location that we're moving to? Or you're following me? Okay, here. Oh, because I'm in the center of the frame. Okay, this is, so we could do it there.
This is where I was expecting you to hold it.
Okay.
It wasn't here.
Got it. So right there.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
do that. I'll find that place.
Okay.
Folks, this is excitement on a level that you don't usually experience, which is live switching of a camera. So we can show the AIS with the Christmas tea. It's funny that I completely missed that, the Christmas tea. So now we are living in the tight shot, and behind you can see the fork and spoon hanging on the wall. And so let me dunk. I don't know. I don't want to bruise the tea. Let's see how this smells. Okay, I'm ready to go back to the wide shot now. Should I live in this, or should I? Yeah, I think. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Yes, that is that is amazing. Oh wow, I wish you guys could smell the cinnamon that fills the room now. Okay, is awesome. Okay, hello everybody. Thomas Gerard, are you on Instagram today? Yes. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. So it's now live on Instagram. So what happens, folks, is I go live, and Instagram is like a separate thing. And so you go live here, then I have to go back to Instagram and go and hit go on there. Okay, so I'm peeking. Hello, yes. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Deb. Just got on. Studio looks great, and so do you, as always. Deb, who sent me the tea. I will take that compliment. Okay. It's too hot to drink. So let me do it. I'm gonna start another one. I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna do a second one. So now watch and learn here. Here we go. That is called Barry's tea. Sorry, Deb, I'm drinking your entire tea supply. This is called Barry's Green Tea Lemon. So I will live to be 116 years old if I drink this tea today, I think, at least. Okay, so This is awesome. Now, the reason for the... Yeah, I have this mic set up in the wrong place because I'm going to bump it with my... But that's all right. I just have to wear it. The ability to... What's going to happen is we're going to... Let me see which one it is. So this, I'm going to hold this in front of my face. This is a script, as we know. And you guys are going to guess what the script is. Let me make sure it's not one that you've already seen. And so... let's see. I don't think... let me see. I have 3 to choose from. So what we learned last time, let me check this other one. See if we've known. I don't think we've seen this one. So for those of you that are new to me, I saved 210 of these from the dumpster. And these are wardrobe scripts. They have a script, usually a shooting script with a Polaroid of every single cast member with every single wardrobe change from every single episode. We're headed to the dumpster. I saved them. My house is filled with these, and I now have gotten into the habit of holding these up, showing you guys a photo, and seeing if you can guess the episode. But last time we were like, hey, Tom, can you hold it closer? So that's why we set up this second camera. Okay, I know you're only seeing a notebook, but this second camera, which allows you to see a closer photo. Okay, that's a little behind the scenes of the studio. Okay, here we go. Let's look at some comments. Today, by the way, and again, a lot of people listen to this the day after, 2 days after, 6 years after. Today is Oscars Day in Hollywood. It is the biggest day in Hollywood as far as like an award show. It's the most prestigious. I have never been to the Oscars. Bizarrely, I got pictures from the set of the Oscars because one of the utilities from Raymond is working the Oscars. Can I show that picture? Will he get in trouble? That's the more. So I went to a rehearsal of the Golden Globes because I was helping out with a speech, Raymond's speech. And we were told if you took one photo, you would be thrown off and your credentials would be revoked forever. And so it did happen. Somebody posted that picture, and sure enough, they got it. So I still took photos, but I wouldn't admit to that. The Oscars is all of Hollywood. It's a big celebration. If you're not in Hollywood, I know a lot of people hate the award shows. It's a bunch of arrogant people, self-aggrandizing, patting each other on the back, talking about how good they are and how you should live your lives. So I understand that some of you are like, I don't watch it. It's very boring. I understand. Hi, Lynn Van Orden, maybe. Hello to everybody. Let me bring you up. There you go. Bringing up these for everybody to read. Hi, Tom. Maria here from Great Falls, Montana. That's pretty far away. Great Falls, Montana. Hello from Wisconsin. A new name from Wisconsin. Usually we see Ryan from Racine, as we say in New Jersey. A very nice feature. We will be able to guess sooner. Kathleen, you are correct. Hi, Tom and Evan. Glad to be back live from the new set. Warm but windy. 72 degrees in Knoxville, Tennessee. I don't think I've been to Nashville. I had to go to a wedding in Tennessee. Where was it? It wasn't a shotgun wedding, just if you guys are thinking that. Hi, Tom and Evan. Yes, great. Deb, traffic cool. Did Brad Garrett have to work with a coach to look amateurish, or was that just natural with traffic cop Timmy the dummy? Very funny question. As far as I know, so you guys know that I have a children's educational nonprofit and do puppet work. So if you look up on pbs.org, hello, hi, how are you? That's a TV show that we have made and hopefully we'll be making again, 10 episodes. So I had a ventriloquist dummy, and that episode came out. I used to bring it into the writer's room. And ventriloquist dummies can go either way. They can be really scary, or they can be just very funny. For those that are old enough to remember, there was Paul Winchell was a big-time ventriloquist who was a brilliant guy who created like a heart pump as well as doing ventriloquism. So I was on set. Brad, I never talked to Brad about doing the ventriloquist dummy. It was supposed to not be good. Hold on, let me take a sip. Very tasty. The Christmas cinnamon tea that says it right on the label. Oh, that's the Irish tea. Let's see. Here it is. Christmas tea, black tea with a little bit of cinnamon. Very tasty. Oh, let me try my camera work again. Here. Yes, look at that. I'm getting a hang of it instantly. Okay. So I think it was deliberately, it was better if he wasn't good at it, is the bottom line. But that's a really good question. Did he have to be coached to look bad, is kind of what the funny version of that question. Hello from Paterson, New York. Where is Paterson, New York? That's interesting. John, did you mean to write Paterson, New Jersey, or am I being ignorant and everybody knows that? Hi, Kim in Mississippi. Okay, Annabelle, right to the front of the line. Was first 6 years, so I know if I had a monitor at, not today, obviously, but like behind the camera, I could pull up these questions, but could I read them then? Probably not. I love doing this on the fly. Was first six, by the way, folks, look how far we've come from the time of COVID, where nobody could leave their house. I only went live on Instagram, and now we're going live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the same time, which is awesome. Annabelle, was the first 6 years considered one of the 210 episode, or was it considered a special? I wouldn't think it would have a script with the clips from episodes and short statements from celebrities about the show. Annabelle, so for those that don't know, have never seen it, at the end of season 6, we had what's known as a clip show. It's a way of getting another episode without spending a lot of money. The network is always into cutting costs. It's a business, so they're not going to sit there and go, you know what, let's spend a lot more money on every episode. So it's a way to get an extra episode of a hit show. It's called a clip show. So the first 6 years, and it gets confusing because appropriately feels like, let's talk to normal people, which is most of us, and let's talk to some celebrities like Ron Howard, Bob Newhart, stuff like that, people of that caliber. But a lot of people are like, should I know this person they just pulled off the street? So that first 6 years, the short answer is, Annabelle, I think it counts towards the 210 episodes. That was done by Tony DeSena, and I think Ken Shapiro might have directed it. So was there a script? There was an outline for how it should go, what clips they want to do, and et cetera. But a script in the sense that Phil and the writers sat there and tried to figure it out? No, that didn't exist. Does it count towards the count of 210 episodes? I think it does. I do think it does. Okay. And I just hit the Mix Pre-10 record for all of those following along. Not that it matters. This is recording here. And then we get that other one as well. By the way, I'm wondering, Matt, I'm talking to Matt, or DP, do we end up recording on the FX30? This single?
Today, but we certainly can.
We could, yes.
We can do ISOs through the other.
Oh, yeah, direct to a hard drive. Well, this isn't an ISO. Okay, that was called a technical break, everybody, to converse. Okay, let's see. Paterson with 2 T's. Yes, Paterson, New Jersey has 1 T. John, how far are you from Manhattan or Buffalo? Or Albany? Let's see, something like that. Okay, Deb, Tucker, Frank, always, anybody who sends me tea gets to have their question answered right away. I'm assuming I sound pretty good. I have this one mic, which doesn't matter, it's far away. But it would be it's a condenser mic. I mean, it's a dynamic mic. So it probably is good. I used to watch the Oscars until they got political. Plus, they don't know how to dress eloquently anymore, most of them. I always enjoyed watching the Oscars many years ago when Billy Crystal hosted them for years. I have gone back to look at some that Bob Hope was the host for. I think Bob Hope hosted 26 or something like that. And Johnny Carson. It's very interesting that Johnny Carson, a man known for TV, hosted the Oscars. Always watched them as a teenager and up. For a few years ago, I recorded them once and fast forward now. Yeah, so I don't know. So I think there's 6 I don't know how many movies are nominated for Best Picture. Because I've seen 0 of them. I know that. So yeah, there you go. It's a mixed bag, folks, having to do that. An award show, watching an award show. Even the people who are at the awards, like I've gone to the Emmys so many times. It's I don't think I could count if I really tried. But award shows are by nature, it's very boring because you don't know most of the people. You do want to see your big celebrities. The Grammys are kind of the best because you're seeing people performing stuff. You can't perform a movie in front of an audience. Hi, Lynn Van Orden, maybe. How many episodes were written for the pilot? How many writers wrote the pilot episode? Okay, one person wrote the pilot, Phil Rosenthal. So generally, a pilot is written by one person or 2 people. They'll have friends, they trusted friends give their opinion about the pilot. They'll send it out. But whoever writes the pilot is the created by thing. So in this case, it was Phil Rosenthal. He sends it out just like any script. It's common in Hollywood. You would be like, hey, what do you think about this? And be like, maybe tweak that, maybe tweak that. But it's the one, in this case, Phil Rosenthal wrote the pilot. So there's, and in general, the way it works, you don't have several pilots that you write. It's always pretty much you get a development deal, you pitch the show, they say write the pilot or not. You write the pilot, and then it gets tweaked just like a regular Raymond script would get tweaked through the week, getting better and better. But in general, it's not like 4 people write the pilot for a show and then they decide which one to use. That is not how it works in any way. Because of cost, they wouldn't do that. They can't really do that. And it's usually hopefully one person's vision of what they have. Okay, let me cruise through. 90-minute ride, 3 days a week for my office in Manhattan, but for only 3 weeks till retirement. Okay, John, how far is Paterson, New York from Manhattan? 90-minute train ride. You're keeping us guessing. Not that they're writing it down, but 90-minute train ride. So are you south of Albany? Are you near Binghamton? You're not near Goshen. That would be too long. Okay, for those of you in New York, that part was interesting. Hi, April Baumgartner. Any chance of a spin-off with some of the other characters, Amy and... So, again, Tom Caltabiano here, writer on Everett Raymond. For those of you that have been watching me from the beginning, thank you. A lot of you have questions that I answer as many questions as I can that I know the answer to, which is most of them since I was on the show from the beginning to end. The spin-off question. So this comes up a lot. Phil Rosenthal... after the show ended, Phil Rosenthal went to CBS and said, can we do a spin-off with Amy and Robert's life, and we have Fred Willard and Georgia Engel and Peter, Chris Elliott as the family, and maybe Ray and Patty visit every once in a while, and the parents, Marie and Frank visit every once in a while, because let's face it, if you watch Pat's Secret, which is one of the last episodes, but it really heavily features the family, one of the funniest episodes of all the episodes written by Tucker Cawley. It's a great, every time I watch it, I go, man, is this funny? This show really hits. It's like, the second to last one to air. And CBS said, no thanks. So that went away. Look, I wasn't on the meetings. Multicam sitcoms, which is Everett Raymond, were not popular at the point. They lost a lot of popularity. So Desperate Housewives was what's known as a single camera, so that was really popular. It was the nature of the beast. It wasn't that CBS was necessarily like, you have a brilliant idea and we will kill it. It was just like, well, it's not in vogue. Folks, during Everett Raymond, I think, I'm going to guess, you guys can look it up, I'm going to say in 1996, there probably were 25 multicam sitcoms on the air, and I think maybe now there's 2. So, everything is cyclical. Excellent question, though. Thomas Gerard, thank you. Per the ELR, Our Family Album, the book we published about the show, the first 6 years was episode number 143, season 6, episode 21. Yeah, so it would count to the It would count for the final thing. Yes, Donnell. 10 movies are nominated each year now for best film. Yeah, that changed right a few years ago. Hi, April. What was your question? He keeps skipping me. Let me see. Any chance? Okay, so that I did answer. So that's an old thing. Hi, big bad 7 for any advice for future writers. The best thing for writers is if you write a lot. So the worst thing you could be is like, once I get a job on a hit show, I'll write a lot of funny stuff. The best thing is just to write a lot of stuff, write a lot of small stuff, shoot videos, show that you can be funny. If you really, really enjoy the process, then you can't get discouraged. You just write a short thing, make a 5-minute video with your friends. There's zero gatekeeping problems now for making funny videos because the iPhone, the trusty iPhone or Android for those of you that hate iPhones. Oh, my picture went away. Why did my picture go away? Hold on, everybody. I see it on the monitor. Live. Let's see. My scenes. Okay, let's go to this. Why did I go to scenes? Okay. Let me see. What did I do? Okay. I don't know. Do you guys still see me? Because I'm seeing a black screen. Is Matt in earshot? All right. I will keep talking, everybody. Let me see this. We used to take Interstate 84 from Central Connecticut to Route 22 north and go through Patterson on the way to Daryl's house in Pauling, New York, until we found a shortcut from Danbury. Okay, Annabelle, that's a great thing. Let me see if I bring that up. Yep, okay. That works. So Daryl's house is Daryl from Hall & Oates, and he has a performing area. That's great little insight. It's there. It's not his house. It's called Daryl's house, but it's not his house. Okay, let's go over here. I don't know if we can find Matt to see. Does Ray have a relative in the toaster episode? There's a guy in line behind Marie when she's returning the toaster. I don't think so. No, 100% one of Ray's relatives is not in line in the toaster episode, which is season 3, Christmas episode, written by Phil Rosenthal. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, you all see me. That's awesome, because you don't see me on the screen here. Interesting. All right, let's go. I wanted to talk about, yes, do you need an agent before you submit a spec script? Yes, okay. Talk to your, okay, so was it, okay, good. That's called Tom summarizing. Yeah, but everyone can see me.
Yeah, you're streaming.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's, I think it's operator error with StreamYard. And I must have,
Take regular, this kind of power.
yep, okay, perfect, sure, absolutely, perfect. Okay, so, let me see, how do I do this? Talk to Your Daughter was not, that's what I think Ray wrote that with Tucker Cawley. Not really based on Phil's, on Ray's real life experience with his daughter Allie, as far as I know. We'll have to ask Raymond about that. But I think, let me see. Oh, let me do this. I'll do this real quickly. Do I tell this funny story? I think I'm gonna have to tell it another time. Here, maybe I can see, what's that? I'm gonna send this to Matt and see. Oh, did my thing go up? I hope so. Gonna send this. I think I shared that. Okay, here you go, Matt. I'm sending you a photo of what I'm looking at. Let me see. I know you're not a StreamYard person. Okay, there you go. Okay, great. Not his brother. So Karen Edwards. Okay, so let's just get this clear. In the Toaster episode, Ray's brother plays a security guard who comes at the end. So when they say distract the guy, they have the whole exchange like, I'm Jewish. Okay, well, shalom, These people must be a pain in your ass. That's a Frank line. And then there's a distraction. The security guard who comes in is Raymond's real-life policeman brother, whose real-life name is Richard. It gives a lot of people confusion. What I have to do is put a picture up of Raymond, Richard, and Robert, the three Romano brothers, and draw lines and do it, because people get very confused. Richard, in real life, policeman, then became a teacher. Robert, teacher in real life, not a policeman. And then Raymond, we all know who Raymond is. Okay, these are all great questions. By the way, I wanted to... Bob Silva, the low backlight on your set is perfect. Yeah, that was all my idea, except for, unfortunately, Matt, whose idea it really was, is in the room, so I'm going to back off that statement. Worst scene, Tom. Is there a particular scene that you, Phil, and or Ray, or let's say other writers, absolutely cringeworthy to film, but you just had to because it was too funny? That's a really interesting question. So when you say cringe, we really cringe when something doesn't get a laugh. We would cringe when something didn't get a laugh. So the one thing about a comedy versus a drama, when you have a table read, so I talked about the table read. Table read is you have a script in your hand, and you're sitting at a table with the whole cast, and you read it from beginning to end. And that's the table read. In comedy, there's no arguing like in drama, meaning, did that joke get laughs, yes or no? There's no like, I feel like it's funny. Right, but nobody laughed at it, so it's not funny, it's not working. So your empirical evidence shows you it doesn't work. In drama, you could be like, I love that moment. It's harder to me in drama to make cuts and figure out. In comedy, it's very easy, and I think I've explained to you, I've mentioned before that when you're working on a script, you would have your script. Let me grab this script here. Okay. So you have a script, and you're going through it. And so here's a script, don't worry, I won't give it away. And you're going through it, and Phil will go, page 10, can we do better than that joke? Tom, it's your script. Do you think that's going to get a laugh? I do, Phil. Not only is that's probably the funniest joke you'll hear all year. And then Phil goes, okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do as a fair person. I will keep it in for the table read, where there's going to be 20 executives and whatever, people watching, 20 people, including executives. And if it gets a laugh, then, you're good. You're good. If it doesn't get a laugh, I will give you the stink eye. I will stare at you and be like, did you get what you wanted? Now I look like I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks a lot. So comedy is much more empirical, people laugh or they don't. We do a run-through for the whole week. There's rehearsals, etc. But a couple of times we would be surprised, either A, something got a huge laugh before the big joke. Something like Brad Garrett comes in as Robert and does something, and you're like, okay, that's a phenomenal laugh. Didn't see that coming, and it's so big that it hurts the next punchline because the audience has already laughed. Or the opposite, which would happen, which is the audience doesn't laugh as hard as we thought on this line that we thought was very funny throughout the week. And then you would see the writers huddle and be like, do you guys have anything for this? Do you guys have anything for, what's this? Like, what's this line? How about this? And we would huddle and pitch, which was very rare, by the way. Okay. Talking nonstop. Here we go. I'm going to go to the second camera. Let's go to the second camera. Oh, there we go. The logo. This is which tea is this? This is the green tea that will make me live forever. Oh, that's really tasty too. That is what did I do with the cover? Here it is. Okay, let me take another sip. How's everyone doing on this Sunday? I hope some spring is coming on. So let me do this. No, I want this. Let me, yes. Look at that. Berries, take a moment, green tea, lemon. Never heard of it, and it's delicious. So now I think I'm going to have to add that to my repertoire. I'm loving this switching. This is phenomenal. Still don't know why I have a black screen, but what are you going to do? Better than the other way. In TV, there's I erased it. In theory, there's always a lead comedy, be it ELR, Frasier, Friends, or Big Bang. Why do you think there is nothing like this now? In your opinion, do you know of something coming? Hi, Marie. Marie Dance? I'm assuming that's not your last name. It could be. It could very well be. Why aren't there any big comedies now is kind of your question. I think it's a lot of factors. Like, here's two shows that were very close to not making it past the first 9 episodes, let alone a second season. A show called Everybody's Raymond and a show called Seinfeld were both on the chopping block for a long time. Seinfeld didn't really come into its own until season 3. It takes time sometimes. There's shows like Roseanne, which came out of the gate and was like #1 very quickly. But it takes time to let a sitcom develop. And so there's so much money pressure now, and sitcoms are relatively expensive. So I don't know that it's the environment to make comedies. I mean, there's comedies like, Ted Lasso, which ran 35 episodes. We did 35 episodes halfway through our second season. And if you go back to the I Love Lucy days, they were doing 35 episodes a season. So that, I think, is one of the reasons. And I think there's somebody has to be willing to take a risk and let this sitcom go. Let this sitcom, breathe a little bit and work its way into into being good. And also, a lot of money is going towards YouTube, which is completely different format, meaning a lot of 3-minute videos. I'm going to say something that I heard the first time, like, okay, in helping some other people develop a sitcom, they're like, look, we know that you have to hook people in first minute, first 2 minutes. No, the first 3 seconds, it's not even on our radar on a normal sitcom that you have to grab the people in the first 3 seconds. So when someone posts on YouTube a hit video, the first 3 seconds are critical. So a lot of times you find a video on YouTube that works, right, for a company. And they're like, oh, a lot of people watch our video. Let's make something off of that. Do not touch the first 3 seconds. So think of that. Think of the pressure of like, well, what are we doing in the first 3 seconds? Ray has just walked in the door. He hasn't even said anything. Hey, puddle pants. That now you're done. And so it's a completely different mentality. So that plays into it as well. But a very good point. Let's see. That's my sound for. Now, Janet, now you're sharing this? Hi from Marshfield, just took a nap. So that can be taken a few ways. I just woke up from a nap, Tom, and I'm well rested. Tom, you were so boring with that last point that I took a nap and now I'm waking up from that. Which way should I take that? Hi, Benjamin. I just watched Amy and Robert's wedding. The episode doesn't show the actual moment they are wed. Was there a scene of them saying, I do, that got cut? I would have to look at the script. Probably not, is my guess. Because if that's a powerful moment, I think, right, Marie interrupts the wedding. So in general, no. In general, something is that powerful, we wouldn't cut. Like Phil wouldn't be like, hey, that pivotal tear-jerking moment? I got rid of it to save time for something funny from, somebody else. Okay, let me keep scrolling. Okay. Hi, Colleen Davis Dunn. Hi from Hollywood, Florida. I follow you closely and met Phil Rosenthal at the recent travel show we're here a couple weeks ago. Oh, that's Phil has become a giant celebrity. And so that's awesome. Phil is a very nice guy, and that's really great to hear. He's been on tour with Lily, his delightful daughter, doing a promotion of their second children's book. Do I have his children's book here? I don't think so. I do have, in my office, sitting on the desk, are 3 Phil books that I'll show all 3 of them, just so you guys can see. I don't think I have his Christmas book. I don't think I have his kids' book, but I have 3 others. Hi, Deb Tucker Frank. Now, is this, oops, let me see. Christmas tea was from the Disney Treasure from this past November on the ship. I have a lot of those teas, and I'm going to, keep taking teas. I love that. Stay in the Portofino Bay. Yes. Okay, let me just see this here. Oh my gosh, these are some heavy books. Okay, now watch and learn here, people. This was Phil's first book, okay? This was Phil's first book. You're Lucky or Funny. That's sitting by my open window, I think, because it is faded. So I took the picture of Phil, I can't tell if it's right or left on this image, Phil holding his glasses. That's when we were shooting outside the proposal, just a formality episode. I did not take the kind of, I'm not going to put that picture down, but it's kind of an just a standard cast photo, I'm going to say. But I took this one of Phil. Let me see, can I hold it up? Look at that zoom. Kudos. Look at that. That's perfect. I mean, the focus, the autofocus. Okay, so that's Phil's book that I am mentioning here. I need a minute for rebuttal. If you read it, it says some things about me that, one thing, I hit the mic again. One thing it says about me is it says that, oh, look at this. This is, by the way, this is like Christmas morning because I can now show a bunch of pictures. I'll show these pictures in a second. So, I mentioned, Phil does say that I'm funny, which is nice. And he doesn't say anything bad about me, but it's just, you'll see, you have to read the book. Okay, let me hit this again. So this was Phil's next book after he got his TV show, Somebody Feed Phil, a collection of recipes from the best chefs. Phil's not a chef, but it's from the best chefs in the country, in the world rather, and their recipes, okay? And then, yeah, this is all my fault, this mic. Okay, then this is his latest book. Now that, I did not take that photo either. That is an awesome photo. That is a really awesome photo, captures Phil. Okay, so there you go. So for the travel show, that is, yes, for those of you that don't watch, Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix. And so now, look at this. See, this is, first of all, anybody who orders anything from us, like the mug, let me just drink from the mug. Well, I'll just keep it in this shot. I don't want to get greedy. Deb, thank you for that. So anybody who orders from us, so that is the thank you card you get. Me shooting Patty Heaton in the mirror, Raymond jumping, Phil and Raymond discussing a script, and then Frank arguing about, they put the house in the way of his car there. And so that's a thank you. This is an old thank you because it doesn't have some of the stuff on it. But here you go. Here's a bonus. This was on the desk here. That is me, Kevin James, and Raymond. I forget where we are and why we are goofing around, but there you go. That's probably before King of Queens is my guess. Okay. Excellent questions. Let's see. Colleen, thanks for keeping the show alive for all of us. All of us teachers were just speaking of the show and how it relates to all of us. I can rewatch all the time and had to say Robert and Amy's wedding made me pee a little from laughter, okay? Not because it was so long. And you're a teacher. I'm deducing that from the thing. Yes, thank you. A lovely picture. Okay, so For those of you, I wonder what I hit that took away my screen. I'll figure it out another time. But I'm trying to think if the snack. So I have the canister, which is right there, okay? And I have a snack inside of it, and we did a cookie test in the Raymond Writers Room years ago. So in that tradition, I'm tasting something every single week and giving it a little bit of a score, a little bit of a number. However, I find that if it's something chocolatey, then my hands are disgusting, covered with chocolate, which they're usually disgusting, but I don't know if it's always chocolate. Let's see. Let me just see if this, I got to make sure it's not a script that we've seen before. Yeah, I feel like this one we just might have done. Was this sitting here? Was this one sitting here? I don't know. We don't know. Let me just see. Let me get to the page. Oh, this is rare. This actually doesn't, oh, I see. The script is after. Oh, yeah, this one we've done. Okay, so I'm hoping, I think this one we haven't done. Okay, here we go, folks. You guys are very good. I don't think, if I did hold it up, it hasn't been for a while. Okay, this is, let me fold this, go this. Okay, this is a 3-ring binder, and I'm going to do right now something called putting pages back in the 3-ring binder so they don't fall onto my lap. What other questions have I? Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? This was an interesting conversation that we had. So somebody, do I want to put this on my keyboard? I don't know. Here, let me just do this, and then it'll get back. So somebody had a question about Phil sitting in director's chairs, and I so appreciate the questions. It was awesome. And so someone's like, why do they sit in those chairs? They're always uncomfortable and something else. It seems pretentious or something like that. So here, just so you know, so I'm sitting in a director's chair right now. It seems fairly comfortable. But a director's chair, which became, it's an essential thing. You can close that and then it'll, yeah. So the director's chair became an essential thing on sets for a reason. So here's a couple things, because I was like, I guess it became so cliche to see the director's name on the back that people are just like, why do they even use those? They have to be lightweight, they have to be foldable, they have to be quiet, they have to be able to have a little bit of a foot support, you have to be able to store them easily, and they have to be universal, because if the seat rips or something, you can repair it. They're this company called Telescope in upstate New York, as we call it, who's been making them forever. And they are actually pretty comfortable, but they do all that. And also, they put the name on the back of the chairs just so you know where to sit or where not to sit. Now, on Everest Raymond, I had a chair with my name on it. I probably sat in my chair 2 out of every 100 times, because it really didn't matter. Now, when Raymond was filming The Irishman, I went to that filming for just a day. It was a giant bomb cyclone snowstorm on the last day of filming. And Scorsese, or Marty as they call him, he has his whole director's, let's say he's a fairly successful director. He has an entire little booth. He has a rear view mirror, like you can't stand behind him. I did not notice which chair he had, but he should have the most comfortable chair made for anybody in the planet. But in the early days, you would want, hey, and this would happen on TV, there is something called a video village. A video village is where you watch the filming of the episode. Phil shouldn't have to fight for his seat, and the editor shouldn't have to fight for their seat. Like, they have to sit in front and be on top of it. So a lot of times it helps you, like, oh, that's Phil's seat, so let me not do it. Not, oh, that's Mr. Important, that's his seat, and how dare you. So there's a lot of reasons for that Telescope chair. And if anybody has a better suggestion, I would totally take that suggestion. Okay, I don't remember if we did this one. The good news is, as you know, now here I'm going to use the second shot. Beautiful, look at that. As you guys know, yeah, there it is. As you guys know, Raymond dresses almost the same every episode for 210 episodes. If somebody can guess this just by this photo, and there is clues sometimes that I'm not going to tell you where, but it's not on this page. If you can guess it from a picture of Ray in jeans and a plaid shirt, you should get an award. Okay, let me go back to my one there. That's perfect. Okay, I'm actually going to turn this. Let me do this. Let's see. Let me check comments because some people get it right away. Do the network exec? Yes. Okay. Oh, let me catch up. So many. Sorry, folks. That's what happens when I start talking. Hi, Tom. Oh, I'm just reading that from John. Anita. Yes. Love the first book. So much fun about different shows. Yes. Phil and Lily should host the Disney World Christmas show live from Florida. They have every year. I will mention it to him. Karen Jack, we're going to need a letter. Hi, Tom and everyone. I'm sorry I'm so late. I just got back from a great trip to Santa Fe and literally forgot what day it was. That is a good trip. You are forgiven. Yes, Dance is my real name. Hi, Marie Dance. How dare I question that, right? So bad. Thank you for your thoughts. I find it sad the like of Frasier reboot was dropped. It was just coming into its own and great and dropped, but I agree with you. YouTube is becoming increasingly popular. Yeah, YouTube is becoming increasingly popular and the full-length sitcom hasn't hit yet on YouTube. Eventually, and Phil used to bore us, we would make fun of him in the writer's room. He'd go, eventually everything is going to come through your TV. This is before the iPhone was invented. But he's like, we're all going to be watching everything, and it seemed like, okay, Phil, let it go. But your handheld device, which, 10 years ago, older people would be like, I've worked so hard to make money to afford a big TV. Why would I watch on this little teeny screen? And the first time I had some friends staying at my house, and they watched Grey's Anatomy on their laptop. And for me, I was like, you're watching something on your laptop? Like, I have a TV. You can watch it on the TV. But they looked at me like, what's the problem? So eventually, long form, but I don't know if people have the attention span to sit through a sitcom anymore. But yes, I didn't see the reboot of Frasier, but it is sad if they didn't give it a chance. Okay, let's go way back here. What did I miss? Okay, that's caught up. Great. Those of you who are only listening, I'm looking through comments to see what I have. Trying to stay awake for Oscar night. Not going too well so far. Dozed off and have missed the start of your live chat. Interesting. Yes. So, Mike, I love the original Fork and Spoon and Frank and Marie's Kitchen from season 1. They were huge, like a foot longer than the ones in the rest of the season. Yeah. So once you became a hit show, then you owned your stuff. When you're on the block, on the chopping block, it's rentals. And you go back to the rental house and you don't necessarily get the same things again. I think we brought it up. I brought it up with Donna Stamps and I think Justin Crowder as well. So yeah, a lot of people do notice that. And don't forget, back then you couldn't watch the show on demand. You would see season 1 and then you don't see it again for like 2 years. So, hi, Joseph Alexander or Alexander Joseph. Did you ever visit the set of Patricia Heaton's other show, The Middle? Yes. When Raymond was that's a good question for photos because I don't know where those photos are. When Raymond was a guest star on The Middle, I went with him and I sat and talked to Patty and took pictures. I definitely took pictures, but I don't remember seeing any of those photos. So would I not have brought my camera? That would be shocking if I didn't. I have to check. I have to check when that shoot was. That's an excellent question. But yes, I was there, and I remember talking to Patty a lot because I hadn't seen her in a while. Let me see. This. Okay, so I've caught up. Nobody has guessed it. Kathleen, was it the episode? Let me just bring that up. Was it the episode? By the way, I'm far away from the monitor and the print is very small. When I bring it up, it's easier to see. Was it the episode when Ray helps his coworker with his writing to the magazine? That is an episode that I wrote, and I think it's called The Article with Andy Kindler. No, it was not that episode. Tom, okay, Deb, I'm gonna have to show another. Let me show another photo to give you guys another clue to keep the momentum going, so we can because I want to taste a cookie. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Now, this is going to be my where in time and space. Okay. There is Raymond on the couch with Patty. There's your second clue for guessing this episode, everybody. Raymond on the couch with Patty. She's got popcorn. Raymond is smiling with the ginger ale. Look at that. That is some impressive focus. All right, going back to one. Here we go, folks. This feels so much like a real production. It's fantastic. Okay. Deb, Tucker, Frank. Tom, you mentioned last year on how everyone would go from a writer to executive producer, etc. I realize it's a union, just like for us that worked in the school district. Did any of you have to bid on position to apply for it anyway? No, you don't apply, you don't bid. You just pray that you get promoted. In schools for teachers moving up to a higher position, they must bid on that position, especially if they were going back to get a degree in administration. This is completely new to me. I know nothing about academia. That you had to bid. Is that normal that you have to bid on a promotion? In high school, in local school. So I don't know. But for us, no. You hoped that you got promoted. All right, let's see if there's any guesses. Any guesses at all? Let's see. Let's bring these up. Let's look at these. Okay. Oh, no new guesses so far. Okay, here we go. Let's see this. Let me see this. Looking at this. And, okay. I was reading a text, folks. Okay. We just saw Ray. See, the problem is, as I show these, Patty's outfits are, sometimes we'll give it away. Okay, here comes the other camera. Let's do this. I gotta put it over here. Okay, there's Patty in two outfits, looking red, and is that pink on the bottom? And again, that's rare that she's, not that Patty's smiling, but wardrobe tries to get in and out and not be disruptive, so sometimes the actors aren't even looking at the camera or aware of it. Okay, so there you go, Patty, and I don't think that's my glare. I think that is the glare from the original Polaroid. Okay, yeah, I think that's Polaroid glare. Here we go. Let me just drop it down. Yeah, see right there, that's I think on the original Polaroid. Here, watch. Let me see. Yeah. Who is sitting? Oh, that's, what's that?
Tilt it down toward me.
Yeah, let me just see. That's Amy sitting next to her in one of her sweaters. That's my guess. I could be wrong. I have been wrong. So there she is smiling in another episode. Okay, I have to move it quicker. But what happens is I go, okay, yeah, back to one. Well, I'm going to show another one right away here. So this, there you go. Patty again is she looking thoughtful? I'd say so. In introspective. Yep, introspective. That's what I would call her. Okay. So let's see if this is phenomenal. Okay, let's see what we got. Yeah, that should give it away. Someone should guess it by now. Because, let's see. The can opener. Nope. Was it the episode when Ray? Nope. Tom, is there anywhere I can stream Everybody Loves Raymond free? I don't know. I don't think so. Is the picture from when Ray slept at Kevin's house and went to a club? Denise, that is King of Queens. I was there for that taping. I don't have any King of Queens script. Well, I might have a script, but certainly not. Name that script. I can name that script in 2 Polaroids. Okay. Tickets have been procured to see Phil and Ray in Austin. Can't wait. Hope to see you there, Tom. Karen Jack, yes. Hi, Trish. Excited to see you back today. Hopefully no black licorice, yes. The worst tasting snack I ever had was chocolate-covered black licorice, I think. It was quite the surprise. Let's see. Bob Silva, do the network executives laugh? At the table read. Yes. Everybody laughs at the funny table reads. 100%. The network executives don't sit there with their arms crossed. They want the show to be funny as well. We'll talk about the notes giving, et cetera. All right, let me scroll down because I'm surprised that nobody has guessed this yet. The Humvac episode, no. The dress, no. Choking on an episode, no. The power of no, no. I recognize Amy in that sweater but have trouble recalling the episode. The shower, season 7, no. Nope. Ali's F, no. Was the picture from the swing dancing? No. Wow. Okay. Let's keep going then. So I'm not going to hold back now. I'm just going to rifle through it. But it's not an easy one. It is. Amy's sweater is the key. Okay. So now, Marie looking very Marie. I would call that classic Marie shirt. There is Peter. Now, it's funny because Peter sits in that chair often, but we don't call that Frank's chair. We called Frank's chair in Ray and Deborah's, the chair in Ray and Deborah's living room, Frank's chair, for whatever reason. Okay, I'm going to stay in this shot, and I'm going to flip to the next one. Here's our friend Brad Garrett. By the way, the puppet work helps me with this reverse. I have to say, it's for someone else, it might be a challenge. Oh. Robert looking very unhappy. Okay. Okay, folks. The good thing is there's a definition. There's a timestamp for when people guess it. Here we go. Here is our friend Brad Garrett again with Amy. Is that me in the frame? Can you, wow, look at that. Great. Amazing. So here, I'm going to come to the camera. That might be me taking a photo. Yeah, that is me in front of Brad Garrett taking a photo, which is interesting. I recognize the camera. No, nobody else had a camera, so all right. You can widen out again. I'm going to turn the page, and let's see. Okay. I'm going to go back to one. Here we go. Let's look for some guesses. By the way, this is the longest it's ever taken to guess, and it's really not that, it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, let's keep going. A Job for Robert, Peter on the Couch, Pat Smokes, Kathy Pine, Fondue Date Night, yes, Missed It by Alexander Joseph, Fondue Date Night at 15:09. That's 3:09. Oh, we're getting up against it. Kathy Pine, Sister-in-Law. Yeah, you named it correctly. I'm going to have to give it a tie. Kathy Pine, you are really, really impressive. Annabelle, Sister-in-Law. Okay, yes, Sister-in-Law. Peter on the Couch. Robert moving in with the Stipes. Episode where Marie was making their room a love cave. Yeah, that's close, but not. Okay, so here we go. Going back to 2, and that, folks, right there, that is, see if I showed that at the beginning, then maybe you get it. There is Amy in one of her legendary sweaters. We could make money if we manufactured that. There she is in her robe. So sometimes there's a clue where it says show number, but I'm gonna come to camera. Right there it says show number, but it's empty. If you know the code, you could figure that out. There we go. Monica looking great. I'm going to go right back to camera here. Let's see. And this, okay, yeah. So this is the, I'm going to go high. Yep, there we go. Some pajamas. I don't know whose hands those are. That might be Ralph. I'm going to stay in that shot and go for one more. Okay. Yeah. So once you see that it's this many of Monica, you know it's that. I'm going to bring that to camera. There we go. There's Monica. Amy, sorry. It's tough. Fondue Date Night. There's Brad next to her. Brad Garrett, Robert. All right, let me see if there's one more thing. So Sister-in-Law. Excellent guesses, everybody. Now I can reveal. There we go. Sister-in-Law, Tucker Cawley, Mike Royce, Tim Peach, Frank Pines. Yes. Directed by Gary Halverson. Table Draft. That's a rare one. I'm going to bring it to camera. Table Draft, January 10th, 2015. Are you at 200 on that? No. Still room. Okay. Excellent guesses, everybody. Now, let me go back to 1. There we go. Now I'm going to go back to the, by the way, I could be in the tight shot and do it, but I'm not going to do it. So let me, because that, well, let me see. What do we want to do here? If I do that, where is the canister? Oh yeah, stay in that. Stay in that. That's perfect. There's the big fork and spoon, everybody. The perfect big fork and spoon. And now I go back to 1, and here it is, folks. So when people go to the museum, the Long Island Museum of Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame, there is a canister there. That is the canister that's owned by Roy Rosegarden. It is an official canister. It was one that was used in the show. They made multiple, so they didn't have any problems. Okay, so this now, I'm going to go to 2. Oh, I'm going to come to the camera. Okay, so here we go. Inside, every Sunday, somebody, okay, I'm going to have to turn it over. Okay, I'm gonna Arno's, the original Scotch finger. Look at that. Okay. You know, Matt, when you're not here, people are just gonna be disappointed by the lack of coverage. Okay, so here we go. Arno's Scotch finger, the original. Can you bring it to 200? Where does that get you? Okay, that's the end.
It for the Instagrammers.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sure. There we go. Arno's Scotch finger. No artificial flavors or preservatives. Flavors is a tell. Flavors. Okay. Going back to this now. Here we go. Let's open these up. Do people know these? Let me just go. That's a problem when I talk too much. Okay, that was a long noise that I made. Okay, let me do this. Let me pull my telescope director's chair up. Okay, Deb, I'm gonna bring your question up because that's a good one. How they met, episode 26. We did 26 episodes that year. Season 3, why this story? There are a lot of ways they could have met. Why did Phil Ray and the writers choose Futon Delivery Guy Scenario as the best origin story for their marriage? That was because that's Ray was a futon delivery man. I'm not going to make the noise like we're in a theater. Ray was the futon delivery man, and in real life, and so they thought that would be cute to do it. Okay, in the wide shot here. Oh boy, these have traveled. Okay, so. I'm going to do, okay. So I'm going to do this. Let me do this. Let me see if I can get what you're witnessing. Okay, I have to go 3 deep to get it. Okay, so can we go, I'm going to go to 2 now. All right, so here is what we got. By the way, I've never heard of these in my life. It's funny that people in the UK were like, really? They're older than time. So this is how it looks. And so now, I'll go to the wide shot and I'll taste it. Okay. Okay. It says made to snap and dunk. Okay. So, do I do that? All right. First of all, it's very buttery. I think that's what they're going for. It's a shortbread, I'm going to assume. I really like it. Wow. If you like butter, this is your friend. That is really buttery. It is kind of crisp. I don't know if I want to dunk it though, but let me see if I can get the snap for you guys. Okay, hold on. Okay, don't panic, everybody. We have this under control. So now this, here we go. Ready? I'm going to put it by the mic. Here we go. I don't know if it picked that up, but I'm going to give that an 8.3. An 8.3. I think that's pretty high. It's a scale. You have a Tim Tam that's coated with dark chocolate and filled with fudge. That's a flavor blast. But this is pure Shortbread delightfulness. Plenty of butter, very crisp. I would dunk it, but I don't want to. Here, let me do this. Okay, yes. All right, let me look at some final comments, folks. I want to keep eating it, but it's rude. All right, let me put that down there. All right, final question. You know what I realized? I want to apologize to Instagram. I never checked Instagram once during this whole thing. So let me let me just look at any comments on Instagram. Okay, Robert and Amy should have had the spinoff. They were great together, and Amy's parents were hilarious. Absolutely. Hi, Catskills. Ray, just saw Ray on the episode of King of Queens. There was a scene of both Ray and Doug grocery shopping in Queens. Wondered why Long Island Ray was shopping in Queens. Thoughts? Convenience. I mean, but if you lived in Queens, you would travel. You could. It's within. Was Fran ever discussed to guest star in ELR? Ray did a great cameo on The Nanny. So Raymond was on The Nanny. Fran Drescher was a star of The Nanny. I went to that episode. I actually got a joke into that episode. I think she says, Ray Barone, funny and fertile. No, there was never a discussion about Fran Drescher being on the episode of Raymond. She's phenomenal. That's a good question for Phil. I think The Nanny went off the air the next season or something, and generally, if someone had a great storyline, and do you know what they have in common? Let me know if you think you know what Fran Drescher and Ray Romano have in common. Okay, let me just hide that. Let's see this. Okay, going back to Instagram. I apologize. I will write an apology to Instagram. Holy crap, yes. Does Ray have a relative? Yes. Okay, great. I am all caught up in there. Tom, can you post your charity? Tom, if we would like to make a donation, when you serve others, you serve yourself. Oh, that is very nice of you. Yes, I will. It's somewhere. So we do it now. We have a nonprofit called Mr. Clown and Friends, but I'll post that information for sure. And we do live Zooms to classrooms around the world. Aside from our PBS show, Hello, Hi, How Are You, that you can stream on pbs.org, you will recognize Phil Rosenthal and Ray Romano and maybe Allison Janney and Kate Micucci, who are also in it. Okay, final questions, everybody. Let's see. They went to the same college, Fran and Ray, or same acting school. Close. Jealous Robert, how much of the brotherly jealous in the show is inspired by real life experience of the writers or Raymond? Good question. Camille, Dorothy, Fran and Ray went to the same high school. Yes. Raymond and Fran Drescher both went to the same high school. Hi, Michelle Stevens. Let's see this. Anyone else just watch this show on repeat over and over like me? LOL. I cry every finale episode and then just start it over again. This is one of the most brilliant shows. I'm obsessed with all the leads. Marie was the best. I'd love bloopers. Yeah, there's talk about doing other bloopers, another show like that. Jealous Robert, how much? There's a lot of jealousy there. I didn't have a brother, but Jealous Robert is an episode that Raymond and I wrote. And that was just a good idea we thought, what if Deborah and Marie actually got and teamed up together? So, all right, final questions here. Bob Silva, butter is my friend. Yes, you are not alone, Bob. There you go. That's worth bringing up. Let me see. The sitter. The first time we met the Parkers, was that the plan for this to be a recurring dysfunctional relationship with neighbors? So, just so you know, I think your babysitter is your friend when you have kids. So when you lose the babysitter, it's like, oh no. So I forget who wrote that episode. It might have been Lou Schneider, rather. Very funny writer. Patricia Heaton's real life husband, David Hunt, was like, oh, that's perfect. And then Elizabeth Herring played Carrie Parker. Elizabeth Herring went to college with Phil Rosenthal. She's an actress, but she was also the dialogue coach on the show. So as I've said in the past, like with Stefania Alex Meneses, or the cookie lady, Amy Aquino, if you score big in an episode, the writers are like, oh, that's somebody extra funny. Maybe we have some story ideas. So that's usually how it comes about. If somebody scores big, if somebody scores big, then you think of other story ideas. Okay. Folks, I will see you all next week. I don't get any sponsorship from any of these, but you can look for these. These were delicious. I don't know if are they in America anywhere? I forget who. People bring these back to me from the UK. I'm not really sure. Those are delicious. Watch Phil's show. Okay, and enjoy the Oscars if you watch it, or if you don't watch it, enjoy all of that time that you have. All right, see you guys next week. Thanks for all of your comments. Keep them coming. I really do appreciate it. See you next week.